Good afternoon, this is RFC Maki, narrating another battle report video. This video comes from an online gameplay from the game Birds of Steel. I had set up a versus room. The game was called Airfield Domination, set in England, where my job was to fly my Hurricane 2, which is my current favorite plane to mess around in, take off from my airstrip. I don't know who put that set of machine gun that's right in the middle of the airfield, but I barely dodged it there. Take off from my airstrip, fly to the north, and find an airstrip in which either to land and control or to sweep the skies clean. Just to the west of me is the enemy airstrip, and so here I am taking off. Just by way of letting you know the game set up. This is a custom mode game with the cockpit mode locked in, so no other view but cockpit mode. All of the simulation level modes are turned on, so this has a complete sim mode as possible, and then I also turned off marked enemies and do not have enemies marked on the map. So all enemies must be spotted in the sky with your eyes. That's something I've really been working on. In this case, I decided not to fly north towards the airstrip to defend, but took off towards the west a bit, and you can see if you look between the reticle and that front glass on the left-hand side, there's a dot moving slightly along the edge of the horizon that I was tracking. You can see it right in the center there, and I figured I would fly low, see if I could sweep in behind this. Now, when I set up this game, the only people available were AI, so all of my wingmen are, all but one of my wingmen anyway, are flying the Gladiator Y-Wings. One of them is flying a Spitfire. And all of the enemy AI at this point are flying the Italian G50s. I'm not exactly sure what the rules are for AI and how they manage to identify flying planes, but in this case I have swung up behind the opposing plane, dropped him into my reticle. One of the things I've been working on is my gunnery, and I think I set up this one very nicely. I've got my convergence distance set at 150 meters, which is just a little beyond the reticle, and I clipped that guy probably at about 80 meters or so. Quick shot, and he's down. Well, you can see a second plane up ahead of me, and as I scan, it becomes quickly obvious this is a Gladiator, and therefore one of my own planes. At this point, I'm pretty close to the airfield that we're supposed to be landing on and defending. I'm not the best lander. I did, in another version of this online game, I did manage to land, but I saved this online game because I did fairly well, and because I actually managed to down a real player who joined lately. Now, there's the airfield I'm defending or protecting. You'll notice a slight dot there approaching that airfield is one of my own Gladiators, and this Gladiator managed to run into the tents, flip his plane, and crash on impact there. I'm sweeping low over to check out what's going on, keeping an eye out for the sky. Mentioned this in other videos, but one of the things I've really been working on is using my right joystick as a way of looking around. So I'm emphasizing the look around here, trying to fly by keeping an eye on the enemy, and I've got a couple dots up ahead of me here I'm checking out. Lost track of them for a second, but there they go. Here's where a lot of mayhem is going on. You can see just now tracking the G50. There's another G50 there. Another one with a lot of planes flying back and forth in very busy airspace. The Hurricane 2 that I'm flying is very difficult to fly. It's a low energy plane. There, I lack the smash to be able to pull up and get my nose in the enemy. Here, I'm trying a bit of a loop. Not the best maneuver at all, and I'm using a little bit of WEP in order to get the energy to go all the way over. But once I'm over, I haven't got much left. So, a quick look around for somebody below me, and this plane just flies right behind me. Line up, quick shot, and he's down. That's two enemies defeated. The third one I tried, cut in front of me, couldn't do anything about it. And this guy pulls a maneuver that actually works out really well here. Cuts back behind me. I lost track of him. At this point in the game, I think the only enemy are still AI. One of the reasons I use the custom mode is because I turned off the AI arcade boost, so the AI are theoretically flying also with the same sort of plane limitations that I'm flying, and if I don't use the WEP too much, we're all on the same ground. Though I find the G50 about impossible to fly because my engine keeps shutting off. Now tracking this man flying low, I swoop in a little bit, trying to use some lead pursuit to catch him, and one of the big problems with flying, cockpit view is right there. He dropped below my nose and he lowered down. This is a really great move. Cuts him across underneath me. He flies up and over my back. By the time I go to catch him, he's gone behind me. And here I use a rollover to reverse direction quickly. At least enough altitude to manage that. And I catch him on the way back here. There he is. Roll again, try to catch him, and he cuts his cut right inside mine, and my shots miss entirely. I expected him to fly across my nose, and he didn't do that. At this point, there's several enemies up ahead of me, and I'm going to lose track of who's who. So here's one that pulls right up in front of my nose. I try a quick snapshot, and he drops faster than I thought he would. And I'm going to try to get on him. So I apologize for the stutter there. It's one of the things that happens in the playback of these games. Lined up in this guy, and here's where my shooting starts to go a bit awry. I take a lot of shots and don't manage to hit this guy. A number of shots, he flies up. What you can't see here is that there's a gladiator wingman right behind me to my right. And when I miss my shots, I guess he has enough of that. And right about here, he managed to bring the man down. So my gladiator wingman engages in a bit of dangerous shoulder shooting, which irritates me. So at that point, I got angry and decided, you know what? If he can steal kills, I'll steal kills as well. So most of this dogfighting in this game is done low, but that's because that's where most of the enemies are. We're all sort of sticking low over the airfield, and this really does put a lot of pressure on you in a hurricane to keep the energy up as high as you can. Try not to lift up. I'm trying not to raise up for these guys above my head too much. Not much way I can keep up with them energy-wise. There's a gladiator and a G50 in front of me, but I'm dropping my nose down in order to catch up to them. There's the gladiator ahead on the tail of a G50, and this is where I decided, you know what, if you can steal kills from me, I'll steal kills from you. So I drop my nose down to hug the trees in order to gain a little bit of speed, trying to catch up with these guys is a pain. And get him into my reticle there. Pulls a quick turn to the right. Get him my reticle. Balance back out. I think I get the best shooting when my wings are horizontal. And get a shot hitting his oil tank. A second set of shots, and he's down. So that's 3 AI planes damaged. AI kills are great, but they don't do anything for helping you unlock skins, which is the main reason I'm flying the Hurricane quite a lot these days. I'm trying to acquire enough kills in order to get the next set of skins for the plane. So it's around this point that I discovered, or I become suspicious, that there is another player. I missed the notification. There's another player playing the game. You just saw him whip up to the left there with a lot more energy than an AI plane typically does. He's flying one of the late model Focke-Wulfs available in the game, I think. So he went up. I didn't quite catch it at the time that was a new player. I'll land my suspicions. Trying to check my 6 quickly as best you can in the Hurricane. And he apparently has no clue that I'm here because he flies up in front of me. There he goes again. At that point, I was pretty positive that this is, in fact, another player, so I set my sights on him. The danger in most versus games, you can use the map to help you spot where the enemy planes are. The way I've got it set up is you can't use the map to find enemy planes. You have to use your eyes, and this guy seems to be very target fixated. I suffer for that as well, but he seems to be very target fixated. And when I spotted him, I was in a good shape. Now, the Focke-Wulf 190 is a really fast plane, and there's no way I was going to catch him up by chasing him. But as he chases the AI, he cuts across to the left. That allows me to engage in a little bit of lead pursuit, shorten the distance. So here I am trying to keep my nose on him. A couple of fast shots. Apparently, he didn't even care as I was shooting at him. Wasn't worried about it. He's got his eyes on the target because he's got a custom paint job there. And again, I'm firing desperately at him. In about a second here, trying to figure out where to shoot. Get just enough to get an oil hit on him. There we go. Get his oil tank, and he starts to trail smoke, which makes it easier to follow. Now, his flight pattern is not one of defense, which tells me that he has no idea or doesn't really care that I'm behind him. He's just going to keep going for the kills. So I try to engage his lead pursuit, get him under my nose. He makes a sharp turn to shoot after one of my gladiators. And you can see him trailing smoke from his oil pan. His speed is fast enough where I can't get him, but once again, I get a little lucky that the gladiator that he's after banks left. He shoots it down, but that gives me enough angle where I can get it behind him. Here he cuts down below me and makes a turn to his right. I should have rolled over and followed him, but instead I roll over bank right, and his evasive maneuver is not very strong, so allows me to get right in behind him, and as he turns, I'm able to hit him. And I see also notice at this point he had dropped his landing gear, so he must have hit a wrong button. I don't know if he's panicking or what, but I get enough shots to hit his engine, and he crashes. I don't know if the right aileron missed it just because I shot him before, if it's damage he got from smacking me to the ground. I did manage my online kill, so now I know there's another online player out there. I gotta start stepping up my game and being a little bit more cautious. He'll respawn from his airfield and theoretically come back up here pretty quickly in the Walk-Wolf 190, but for the moment I know I'm safe, so I circle in order to try to gain some altitude again. Looking around, keeping an eye on the enemy. There's a G50 right there I can try to get behind. What I didn't see at first was that there's a gladiator on him as well. But like I said, I'm pretty annoyed that they stole my kills. I go for a kill steal here, and before I get it lined up, my gladiator wingman knocks him down, so I go ahead and just peel out of that. Taking a glance back to the west now to see if I can't spot the dot on the horizon where my enemy, my Walk-Wolf friend, is going to see if he can't come after me, but nothing spotted on the horizon. At that point, I think I just decided to get the game ended just after this, so I tried to keep a look on his airfield and can't spot anything. So overall, I think my performance this online match was not bad. I managed an online kill, which was good. Getting a lot better at spotting the enemies and getting a lot better at differentiating enemies, both by their shapes and by the way that they move. Really enjoying cockpit view, and I'm really enjoying the limits of the Hurricane 2 plane that I'm flying. In fact, I did manage to, this evening flying this plane, I flew a couple of games and did manage to unlock the next skin for this plane, so just got one more, and my next skin I think comes after 19 more kills, so I've got a bit of work ahead of me in this plane. I'm enjoying this game very much, and glad that I was able to shoot a late model Walk-Wolf down in my Hurricane. A nice testament to the fact we need to always look around us, keep track of our sixes, and watch out for enemies, because you never know where they're going to pop up. It's been kind of fun showing this to you. I've got a couple more videos in mind that I'd like to play, and in the meantime, thanks for listening, thanks for watching, and I'll look for you in the skies. Cheers, mates.